Bubba Wallace breaks his winless streak, winning one of the biggest races in NASCAR. Is Austin Hill getting suspended? And what about Christopher Bell too? Because he can't go straight, apparently. He's having a lot of trouble going straight on the straightaway, which, I mean, it's hard enough for us to be straight too, right, Alex?
I don't know if that's possible for us to go straight. Yeah. It's like, I get it.
You look like Christopher Bell. You know.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I just don't know how to go straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he got nervous. Zane Smith is kind of cute. Maybe he got nervous around him.
Possible.
I would do that if I was in the car. I would wreck so many people because I'd be nervous around them. Like, oh, I really don't want to wreck him, and I wreck him.
So your favorite's Kyle Larson. Would you like? Oh my God, that's Kyle Larson behind me. What am I gonna do?
He's gonna wreck himself before I even get up there. I just, girl, I don't even. Yeah. We have a really cool episode today. I feel like I'm just really excited to talk about the Brickyard 400. It's, you know, and I said this last week, anytime that you have a race at this speedway, you're writing chapter in history, right, Alex?
Yeah.
But so many guys could have won that race yesterday. Like we were looking at a Joey Logano win at one point, you know, that would have been a story for Team Penske, you know, of course. And, maybe it was another moment. It looked like Larson was going to go back to back. That would have been a big story. But for Bubba Wallace to win this race, I don't think you could have a driver in the field where there's more storylines and more kind of key points to talk about. But like there's no other driver that has more of those. Bubba winning this race is such a huge deal.
And he won it on merit. Like, yeah, there was some fuel strategy involved. There were questions if he was going to make it on fuel. But he was up toward the front all race long, and Logano has his tire issue that you mentioned. Bubba was then second. I mean, he earned this, and we're going to talk about the overtimes here in a bit, but he was going to win this on merit before the overtimes. He had a 3-second lead over Kyle Larson. And then on the overtimes, he beat Kyle Larson up front twice, and in his post-race interviews, he was saying Kyle Larson's like the greatest of the current era, and it's just an honor to be able to race against him and then beat him
on the biggest stage.
Yeah, this is a crown jewel for NASCAR, and it's a defining moment for Bubba Wallace's career. It's a defining moment in NASCAR history, really, because 2311 is now an open team. They are suing NASCAR, and that ongoing lawsuit led to them being an open team right now. So many layers to this. I mean, look, Bubba Wallace is the first black driver to win at the IMS Oval.
And it's a 116-year history.
That is so
I'm getting goosebumps
cool.
Just saying that. And I'm so happy for like all of our black racing fans that listen, for you guys to have that moment is amazing. And you know, Bubba Wallace, and we'll get into all the criticism that goes on with him. But his identity in NASCAR recently, like performance-wise, I feel like has been like that team that's on the bubble, right?
Yeah.
They've been talking about his winless streak and all that. For him to break this winless streak, not just to do that, but to do it at the Brickyard 400 on merit, beating Kyle Larson again, like the magnitude of this is incredible. Imagine being Bubba Wallace in this moment. We talk about how we mostly with IndyCar and the 500, how the speedway just changes careers and changes lives. And I don't think that necessarily happens with the Brickyard 400 every year, but this year, certainly it is. And I just find that immensely cool.
And think about it. Bubba Wallace was probably going to win the Daytona 500 someday. He is always just spectacular in the Daytona 500. I mean, 2311, they have moments on mile and a half, so 600's a possibility. But
he can really, he's a good enough driver to where he can get to a point where he can win anywhere, especially with that team.
Yeah, and I don't want to overhype that because I don't think anyone predicted he would win the Brickyard 400, right?
Yeah. Again, he's been a bubble team the last 3 years. He's just really not that race-winning team or driver most of the time.
But we have seen these moments where he can run up front. His last win was Kansas in 2022, September. And then before that, it was Talladega, both races in the playoffs. This is his first time winning the regular season. I mean, he's been in the Cup Series for 8 years now, which I saw that. And I'm like, there's no way, but that's right. He's been in the Cup Series 8 years.
It's his first time, and mostly, again, with 2311, that he's actually just in the playoffs now. Like I like that 23 team. Of course, it's 4 weeks left till the playoffs, so they only get to really enjoy it for 4 weeks. But like, it must be a weird feeling to be on that 23-11 team, being like, oh. Especially also, it's normally backwards because normally like Reddick's already like locked himself in.
Yeah,
It must be so weird to be on that 23 team. Finally getting themselves locked in. They don't have to worry about the bubble. In fact, they put more pressure. The 23 team winning kind of changes the picture a little bit, with Ryan Preece, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
And speaking of the playoffs, I think that's also another layer to this, because him actually, like, again, breaking that stereotype of him of like being the bubble driver, and now he's like locked into the playoffs. That's kind of another layer to it, and it's kind of like a rare time where I feel like the playoffs make one of these regular season wins a bigger deal. I don't know if you agree with that. Like, kind of like the opposite of the Harrison Burton problem, where it's like when Burton won, his win kind of got discredited or it kind of got de-hyped because everyone was mad about the playoffs. But I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I mean, this win does something that he's never done before in his career, and it's huge for that team. Shout out to our friend and former guest of the podcast, J.R. Houston, who leads a lot of the strategy and engineering over there at 2311 on the 23 car. Really happy for him. And this is
2311's first win of the season, too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Crazy. Like, because again, Reddick's been shut out of victory lane. Like, it's just for 23. I don't think 2311 expected to go the first over half the season without winning a race, which is kind of crazy. And for it to be Bubba is such a huge deal.
For sure. And we have a Patreon comment here from Chris, who says, the way Bubba talks about his mental journey with self-doubt is so relatable. Anyone with serious imposter syndrome ought to be able to relate to it. I'm really happy for him, and seeing how crazy he is about his baby is just so endearing.
Oh, yeah, that's cute. And we'll get into his baby thing, but I love, my favorite part of sports is the psychology behind it, because I could never do this for a living. I could never have my job depend like on my competitive performance. That is incredibly hard to deal with as a human being. And Bubba being open about it is something that I find really interesting and very appreciate. I mean, I appreciate it a lot. Like, I remember at the All-Star Open when he won that race, and I don't even know if he was crying or whatever, but like he was just having a moment with somebody in the garage. It might have been with Blaney or something. Like, that always stuck out to me. Like, just how Bubba kind of wears his heart on his shoulder.
Well, and think about it. Bubba Wallace has probably more pressure on him than any other NASCAR driver, maybe race car driver in general.
Well, yeah.
Just from the national attention he's gotten in the last 5 years for the wrong and not his fault reasons, very unfair reasons. But he has really embraced that, I've noticed, in the last year or so.
Like, it doesn't really bother him anymore, which it's kind of sad, because he's kind of had to just get used to it, because it's not going to change.
He was saying, like, while driving, that he just didn't hear anything. Like, normally he could hear the crowd, but he didn't hear anything. Like, he could hear the birds. He could hear
the birds.
Anything else.
What Big Bird? Was Big
Bird's friend was there. But
he had Old Sesame Street there.
He was saying he could hear some other things like that, but he couldn't hear the crowd. And I'm sure what he means by that is he could like hear people booing, like when he went by or whatever on pace laps, right? But he said that he really just blocked it all out. And he had a feeling, he posted on Twitter that he felt this feeling coming in this weekend that he was going to win this race. It really, really interesting.
That's crazy.
And just, you mentioned like the black NASCAR fans, like, again, representation is a huge, huge deal. That's a big part of what we do here.
Yeah.
But for the black community, I mean, Bubba Wallace is, look at this. I mean, first black driver to win on the IMS Oval, the most historic racetrack on the planet. He's now the first black driver to win several cup races. He is just adding more history. And I'm not saying he's going to be like a champion, multi-time champion, whatever. But whatever he does in his career is monumental, really. And that's just more pressure that goes on to him. And for him to just take that in stride is just really, really appreciative.
Because he's really, he's not just driving that 23 car, and his job is not just to win races. He almost has extra responsibility put onto him. And I can't imagine what it's like to be a Bubba fan, because, I mean, Alex, we wish we had like an openly gay NASCAR driver. And imagine being a fan of that driver and their career has been up and down and they've been on the bubble and then they finally break through at the Brickyard 400. Like I am just so happy for all of the Bubba fans. That is an amazing moment.
Shout out to my friend Kiana on Blue Sky. Shout out to Phil Spain, Sarah Davis. Those three especially I've seen.
I was thinking of them after the race. I was like, like they must be running around their house screaming right now.
They have been following Bubba.
Big.
They've been following Bubba since he was in the 6 car, maybe before that, probably way before that. But like that's when I first started hearing about Bubba was in the 54 truck and the 6 Xfinity car, like 10 years ago now. But those guys have been following him from the start.
Yeah, diehards.
Yeah. Just really, really happy for those guys and everyone else that's a fan of his. Like, it's really special.
The sport too. Like, I just hope I know everyone in the sport's not going to be appreciating. Well, in the sport, everyone in the sport, obviously is appreciating it. The cool down lap, all the drivers were like giving him little bumps and hand waves.
And there's a lot of people that'll say, there's a lot of people that'll say like, well, they'll use whatever dumb story they saw on the internet that wasn't real or twisted and use that against him. But then you see all the drivers, they all love him. Like you said, I haven't really seen something like that. Everyone just congratulating him in a long, I don't remember the last time I saw something like that.
No. It's such a cool
It just shows that the drivers really respect him. The whole garage respects him. Check out his TNT post-race interview, not the one with Marty Snyder, but the one on the post-race show. It was just really raw and emotional. And shout out to Jamie McMurray and Dale Earnhardt Jr. They were, before Bubba got on stage, they were really talking about what Bubba goes through. Just really, really well said.
Some of the best people in the sport.
Just really good.
Dale Jr. and Jamie.
It's really good stuff.
And they know what to ask. They know the perfect questions to ask. And I'm so glad they got to have that moment with Bubba.
And you mentioned this is a huge story for the sport. I mean, you had articles from CNN, AP, these major news outlets that don't talk about NASCAR in the weekly, making like main sports, just only sports section
goes out of our bubble.
Stories. Like this was on the CNN homepage last night. I ended up sharing the AP article to my personal Facebook account, just being like explaining why it was a big deal to like my family and like whoever, because like everyone knows me in real life, like knows I'm a racing fan. So I shared it like, this is why this is a big deal. Like IMS is such a historic, monumental racetrack. So for a black driver to win there is a huge deal. Just really cool.
It's special. And it's
very special.
I've already said this like 3 times, but it speaks to what the Brickyard 400 is. Like, and we're about to talk about like Joey Logano. Well, we're about to talk about like the actual things that happen in the race, but it's like when someone has an engine failure at like Michigan, it's like whatever. But when someone has an engine failure or tire blowout at the Brickyard 400, it's the pain is like multiplied. The magnitude is multiplied.
And we go back to, you mentioned Michigan. It reminds me, there was a fuel mileage race and we didn't know if Bubba Wallace was going to make it on fuel. And TNT was saying for a while, Steve Letarte was saying that they could make one overtime restart on the 23, but probably not another. But then we had 2 overtimes and he still had enough. Like my heart was pounding for him. I was so nervous for him that he was going to like run out on the back stretch.
That last lap was, I mean, you could even tell Adam Alexander was waiting till the very last moment to call him to the finish. Like he was waiting till he was like very close.
And I wouldn't have felt that way if it was Michigan. It still would have been like really exciting, but this is the Brickyard 400. It is a crown jewel, despite what some may say. It's Indianapolis.
If you don't think it's a crown jewel, I'm sorry. You are literally wrong.
You have to go to IMS.
I don't even think you have to go there. You just have to like
understand.
Read a Wikipedia page. I'm serious. Like you are just wrong if you say it's not a crown jewel. Like it's not a debate to me. It's a fact. This is a crown jewel.
I agree.
Like all the drivers would say it's a crown jewel. Every single one. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
One more thing on Bubba. It's kind of a funny one. He had his baby like handed to him.
Okay,
and then he like Simba Lion King moment, like, raised his baby to the crowd and the crowd roared. Cheered. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious. Joseph should have done that with Dakota. Oh my God. Joseph was like, damn it. He probably saw that. I was like, damn it. Why didn't I do that?
That's a good idea. Why didn't I do that?
Is that going to be his thing? I think he should do that even as his kid gets older. His kid's going to be 10 years old and he's still doing it. I hope so.
Ross smashes a watermelon. Daniel Suarez smashes a piñata. But Bubba Wallace raises his child to the crowd. I love it.
Yeah. You got to have your own victory thing. That'd be a good guess question. What is going to be your victory? Your victory. Yeah.
I
don't know what mine would be. I'm just going to shake my ass, I guess. I don't know.
We'd love to see that.
Yeah. And one more thing about the fuel mileage. I feel like these crew chiefs are like under calculating their fuel mileage. I feel like we never see the leader run out of fuel. Ever.
William Byron ran out at Michigan, right?
I guess. Yeah, you're right. But like, I don't know. Like the way Chase Briscoe was able to stretch it at Pocono. These drivers are very talented at saving fuel, apparently.
Well, they're probably not saying the full truth either on the radio or to the media.
Yeah, because if they say that, oh, we're probably going to have to pit here, then other teams might blink and they might pit. So, I don't know.
But as I said earlier, Bubba was 3.5 seconds ahead of Larson before these overtime cautions. Again, he earned it. This is on merit. Very impressive win for Bubba Wallace, plus to make it through those overtime restarts.
I mean, perfect execution all day. I mean, I said it with Hamlin last week. You got to execute these races perfectly if you want to win, and that's what the 23 team did when in the past they haven't. Like, huge deal in the Brickyard especially.
William Byron and Josh Berry actually did run out of fuel on the last restart. They were both in the top 5. I think Berry might have been 6th.
That sucks for Berry, man. He was having a big day.
Yeah.
That beautiful PPG car.
Let's talk about Berry's teammate, kind of, Joey Logano. As you mentioned earlier, he blew that right rear tire. He was leading. He was on he
had this race,
same kind of strategy that Bubba Wallace was on. He pitted earlier.
He did pit earlier, so I'm almost wondering in hindsight, I don't think that would have mattered anyways in terms of him winning.
Fair.
I mean, if Bubba was that close on fuel, although Bubba was doing burnouts too, though. I just remember that he had fuel to do burnouts.
So he did a whole cool down lap, then he did the burnouts, and then he had to drive it to the victory lane.
And we know Joey Logano is God's favorite, so he definitely would have made it on fuel. But you know who isn't God's favorite this year?
Team Penske, because I think Penske's cursed. Like, not only did Logano have tire issues, but Austin Cindric, his teammate, had issues while leading. By the way, you made a funny post. I don't know if it was on Twitter or Blue Sky. The IndyCar race starts, and then the 2 car has an issue, but it's not Joseph this time. It's Austin Cindric.
Well, the racing god was like, "Oh, the IndyCar race started. Well, let me mess up the number 2 Penske car. Oh, they're at Indy. Of course, it's IndyCar. They're at Indianapolis. So let me mess them up." It was Austin Cindric. He's like, "Joseph looks different today, but okay, I'll mess up his race." These Indy cars look weird.
He got a bit taller, I think.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. IndyCar was hiding out Laguna Seca, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I think Penske's cursed. Like, because I mean, you notice these IndyCar races, like once one of them has a problem, they all have a problem. And like we saw their 500, their week of hell at the 500, and the crashes, the controversy, the race, and 2 of their cars having issues from the lead. That's just the Speedway. I don't know. The Speedway has beef with its owner, and I find that really interesting on a spiritual level.
So let's talk about the 2 overtimes, because just like Dover, I don't know if I like it. Just like Dover, I think it was the right call. It's always good to try and make sure you finish these races if you're able to. But overtime, man, overtime complicates this to a degree that we don't need to. And we're going to talk about the first overtime incident in a second. But we could have been sitting here another hour if we weren't, if we were unlucky enough.
Well, we did.
Have that.
We did sit there for like an extra hour.
The red flag was about 20 minutes. Yeah. And then the overtimes were a little bit longer.
That race was supposed to be over. I'm just saying.
See, if it were me, I'd be fine if they just ended under yellow. I don't care.
It's such a weird thing, because if it's like IndyCar, would IndyCar ever do that for the Indy 500? Think about it that. That's an interesting question, though.
They had 3 red flags just a few years ago. But it wasn't for rain.
Like, even just ignoring that, like, if there's 5 laps to go in the Indy 500 and it's only going to take an hour to drive the track, do you drive the track? Because why wouldn't you?
Right.
It's a little stupid. I think it being NASCAR, it's just like, of course NASCAR is going to wait an hour.
I think the problem is that with IndyCar, there is a determined end lap, and that is lap 200. True. And NASCAR, this could go for another 20 restarts because we have unlimited overtime attempts. And that's what I don't like about it. It's like we could just go, we have 5 laps to go, but we could go another 20 because these guys keep wrecking. And we have 2 Patreon comments about this, 2 different opinions. First one's from Dirt, who says, while in for finishing races if it's possible, I think the last 2 weeks have been dangerously close to just being stupid due to the advent of overtime. We shouldn't have had to hope that Denny and Bubba would keep the win they deserved in regulation. Overtime doesn't make the racing better, and it detracts from the product, particularly after the first one.
Because you're just overtime. All overtime is really doing, and we've talked about this before, is it's just going to change the deserved result, I guess. And I'm not saying that's not interesting to watch restarts,
we got the same outcome the last 2 weeks too, and I feel like that's what we get most of the time, which I thank God.
It's a neutral lose situation. It's either neutral and like, okay, the guy that wins, that was going to win, still wins, or it's a stupid situation where they lose because, I don't know, they got wrecked or something, or they lose the lead on the restart. Because I don't know, I think NASCAR with the current racing package is a little dependent on restarts for excitement, and so I get why we have green white checkers, but I don't know. And this whole weather thing with 5 to go. Again, I can't really pick a side of it because both sides have points.
Well, let's check in on the other side. This is from Patreon member Chris, who says, props to NASCAR. The last several weeks there have been races delayed by rain and didn't have that many laps left, and I think they've done a great job of getting the track dry and finishing the race.
Because like it would have been kind of a buzzkill if the race just ends like that, but also the race was just going to end if it didn't rain anyways. Just green flag run. Like so are we really missing anything? It feels like Talladega, maybe.
I'm glad Bubba won this race because if he would have won in a rain delay, people would have used that against him.
Oh, true. Because then like NASCAR didn't continue the race,
even though he was going to win on regulation. But whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's just one thing.
They're consistent with what they did last week, too, which I like.
Yes. I think I agree with both of our comments here.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a side because I understand both arguments.
I think I'm in the middle. If you just get rid of overtime, everyone's happy. And everyone's just like, oh, yeah, we're going to finish this race with like 5 to go. If they wreck, then it's over. But
this sport is 10 times less controversial if you get rid of overtime. I'm just saying.
I made a post on Blue Sky that said the hatred and anger and outrage toward the playoffs should be directed toward overtime. And some people were like, why not both? But
I'm people. I'm those people. Why not both?
I don't agree.
I can hate both playoffs and overtime at the same time.
I think overtime is much, much, much worse than.
I have enough hate in my heart to have both. There's enough hate in my heart.
But the thing is, people aren't nearly as angry about overtime as they are the playoffs. Just overall. Well, I think you are, Zach, but I think the general
I think because overtime is like more of a every now and then thing. Whereas the playoffs are very consistent.
It's pretty often.
Well, no, but I mean, like, not overtime doesn't happen every week, but the playoffs are kind of like an impactful thing every week, if that makes sense. Like when the playoffs are happening, if that makes sense. Like overtime is only going to
fine with it now.
People only complain about overtime when overtime happens, and it's stupid. Like if Bubba lost yesterday, more people would be complaining. So maybe.
And it was a good finish. Like I'm glad it ended the way it did.
Yeah, it was all right.
Let's move on to the first overtime restart because Christopher Bell and Zane Smith got together, and the onboard camera on Christopher Bell's car, it looked like he might have right hooked Zane Smith, but it's weird because you're on a straightaway and there might have been a bit of a stack up.
Normally when I'm on a straightaway, I don't turn, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
See, as an overtime hater, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And then I thought, oh, it's Bell that caused it. Toyota ought to be pissed because I thought that probably cost Bubba the win because we had been told for about, 30 minutes now that Bubba wouldn't have enough gas to do another overtime restart. I'm like, so Bell just cost a Toyota teammate the win. Obviously that didn't happen, but like, be smarter. I don't know.
Well, and
Weird.
TV said this too. They were like, once we got off turn 2, I thought we were clear. I thought we were good.
Same.
And I'm shocked they didn't wreck because they were like 4 wide back there.
Yeah.
So once we got off turn 2, I'm like, okay, we're good. We're going to make it to the white flag. But then for that to happen was just so irritating. And I'm really confused on what happened, and it doesn't seem like it's very clear. Like Christopher Bell didn't really explain himself after the race.
Yeah, he never commented on it. He didn't apologize to Zane
That's
Smith.
fishy.
Maybe he did privately, but it's weird.
I couldn't find. I'm looking again real quick, but I just had trouble finding anything on Twitter, or I even Googled it for an article, but I just couldn't. He never really explained anything, and I'm like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
We have a Patreon comment about this, and it regards the Xfinity race, saying Austin Hill and Eric Almirola. That incident is getting compared to the Bell and Zane Smith incident. What are our thoughts on those incidents, and are they similar? Starting with, are they similar, Zach? Are they similar to you? This was on the straightaway, and the Hill and Almirola one was in the corner.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll start with the Austin Hill one because that's just immaturity coming out and in a very dangerous place. And
that one's very egregious. I think that one was very obvious and clear what was going on.
Yeah, and Eric had a really good interview because he said, I can't believe this guy after Martinsville said that he'll step up and be a role model for all these younger drivers.
People were pulling up Dale Jr.'s old tweet that Dale Jr. laughed when Austin Hill said that, which I found awesome.
Literally. Like, and then him cussing out NASCAR on the radio afterwards.
I'm sure that really helped his case.
NASCAR will definitely see that you are a very calm-headed individual and would never do retaliation on the track.
Because NASCAR held Hill 5 laps for that. Nothing for Bell. And I don't think there should have been anything for Bell, but it is something that I'm sure NASCAR's looking at, to say the least.
Yeah. And that was very egregiously just stupid, what Austin Hill did. If you do something that stupid on the track, you do no longer need to be on the track. I'm honestly surprised they held him for 5 laps. Like, literally just park him. If that happened in the middle of the race, he does not need to be on the track anymore. I don't think it's safe for him to be on the track anymore. Yeah. I hope they suspend him, but I know they won't. Because with the Kyle Larson rule, with the waivers, if someone misses a race because of suspension, they get disqualified from the playoffs, and I don't think they want to do that to Austin Hill.
No, they lose all of their points. They don't get disqualified from the playoffs. They lose all of their playoff points. I think he'd have to win again. That's
the thing. I think he has to win again.
Yeah, but he's not like disqualified. He just loses all of his points.
No, because what I'm saying is he wouldn't get a waiver. No, he wouldn't Alex, he wouldn't get a waiver for missing a race. He would have missed a race and he wouldn't get a waiver for missing a race. That's what I'm saying. That's what the rule is. Like, that's why, remember when Cindric didn't get penalized after Coda?
Mm-hmm.
He did get penalized, but he didn't get suspended. It's because NASCAR does not want to have them miss a race. And the rule book says they cannot get a waiver if they get suspended. So they're like trying to keep them in the playoffs, basically.
You would forfeit all playoff points. I'm trying to read this.
I mean, I think you're looking at
because if Cindric would have got suspended for that, he wouldn't. You would still get a waiver for it because they get waivers for that, but you would still lose all your points, is what it is.
Maybe that either way doesn't matter. They kind of set the precedent. They kind of set the precedent with Austin Cindric. Whatever precedent means in NASCAR anymore, even though that's at a road course. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see if they will suspend Austin Hill. We've also, though, seen in the past, when stuff happens in the lower series, they get more aggressive with penalties.
Yeah.
So they might actually suspend Austin Hill here, and honestly, they should, because that was dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric could have gotten hurt. we can't be doing that.
To go back to the second half of Dirt's question, should Bell be suspended?
Well, part of me is I think if you do something that stupid on the racetrack, it should be penalized, whether it was on purpose or not. Because part of me is like, listen, we could sit here all day to debate if Christopher Bell did that on purpose. But for that to happen on the straightaway, if you're doing that on accident, there is a problem. You know what I mean? There's got to be a problem. Like, your spotter and your vision on the side cannot be, I mean, they can't see much on the side, to be fair, but like, that just can't be happening. You know what I mean? Like, that just cannot happen on an overtime restart. That's ridiculous to me. You know, right. So even if it wasn't on purpose, part of me is like, maybe Bell does need not like a suspension, but maybe Bell needs a penalty. Here's a penalty for being stupid. Like, is that hard? Maybe that's harsh, but like, part of me feels that way. Like, if you do something stupid, whether it's from your own stupidity or your own anger, maybe you deserve the same kind of penalty. I don't know.
So, just for clarification's sake, I found the full rule. And starting in 2025, a suspension would be more impactful due to new playoff waiver rules implemented. Should a driver miss a race due to a suspension, they can remain eligible for the playoffs via a waiver, but will lose all of their playoff bonus points and forfeit any future playoff points they collect leading up to the playoffs. So I think he would still be eligible. He'd still be in it via his win, but he'd have no points from it. And if he wins again, he won't have any points from it either.
Fair enough.
Sounds like it'd be in the playoffs too. So he'd have 0 every round.
That's good. Hopefully, because again, I think parking drivers for a week is a very powerful move. Especially, when they park drivers, they should have to show up to the track still. Like, you should have to travel to the track and come sit in the hauler and watch the race with us.
Sit in timeout while everyone else is having
literally
fun.
Though. Yeah. They should do that to drivers that do stupid stuff like that on the track.
Yeah.
So they can't just go have a fun weekend at home. Like, no, you need to come sit in the principal's office. Like,
yeah.
I want to be the Mike Helton of NASCAR. I just want to I want to yell at drivers for being stupid. Dude, that would be so fun.
Mike Helton, him being mad, that sounds scary.
I would piss myself if I saw Mike Helton and his little mustache shaking in anger at me. I would be so scared. I'd be like, yes, sir. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
exactly.
I want to be that guy. How do I get to that? That's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be Mike Helton.
Well, let's move on to the playoff grid. Do you have that ready to go to pull up, Zach?
It's like click a few buttons. I did pull it up. I just,
we just have 4 races to go until the playoffs now.
There you go. All right, cool.
And there are only 3 spots left in the playoffs, 4 races to go. And Zach, Tyler Reddick is looking pretty good on points, but this might come down to Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, and a possible new winner.
Yeah, so I was kind of right when I said that the cut line wasn't going to change much, right? Because Bubba winning really didn't change the cut line that much. He was
Bubba
there anyway.
Was the cut line driver, and then now he has a win. He's good. Priest, man, Ryan Priest finished. I think he finished 3rd in this race. He finished 4th. Ryan Priest finished 4th, and he was really close to Bubba Wallace in points. So that's got to be a bit of a disappointment for him. But
it's like all these guys outside the playoffs now. It's kind of legit, just kind of looking like you just got to win. Like,
Ryan Priest is minus 42. He's going to need Buescher to have like an issue or 2.
Which can definitely happen. I mean,
which can happen. Yeah.
Well, so we're going to Iowa. We're going to Watkins Glen. We're going to Richmond. We're going to Daytona. I mean, a lot can happen in these 4 races, sure. But at the same time, Richmond, Iowa, and a road course, they can sometimes be very, what's the word? Just very, not boring, but you know what I'm trying to say, like just very run of the mill strategy, just, not a lot of chaos, but Watkins
Yeah.
Glen, we literally had a big one, lap 1. So
Yeah, and Watkins Glen, that's probably going to be a big chance for like Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, maybe a Ty Gibbs. And then Daytona's in here. That's everyone else.
And there's only 3 spots left. And hell, again, I mean, the Austin Dillons. Like, what if an Austin Dillon type character, like Kyle Busch or something, or Ty Gibbs, or Brad Keselowski,
Austin Dillon won Richmond last year.
What if they go win Richmond or something, or Iowa out of the blue? I mean, Bubba Wallace just won the Brickyard 400. You doesn't normally win races. You know what I'm saying? Like, these races are, if a crew chief plays strategy right in one of these races, anything can happen. That's kind of the most interesting thing about the playoff bubble right now is the fights for these wins in these last 4 races, because we're not going to see our typical guys, I think.
Yeah. If someone were to win who's not Reddick, Bowman, or Buescher, Alex Bowman would only be 21 points over Chris Buescher. It is currently Bowman plus 63, Buescher plus 42, Priest minus 42.
Yeah, and I don't know what the 48 or the 17 teams think. They probably are still in, like, we probably need to get a win mode if we really want to be safe.
If I'm Bowman specifically, I'm assuming someone's going to win at Daytona. Chris Buescher has won Daytona before. Yeah. Chris Buescher won Watkins Glen last year. Like, I don't feel confident if I'm Bowman right now yet.
You kind of have to play in a way, and this will be very interesting at Watkins Glen with the way the stages are flipped, but you almost have to play this in a way of, like, we need to try to win the race, but we can't afford to give up points, which is what you're doing every race anyways, I guess. But
yeah.
My question is, what does the 45 team think?
I think they just have to make it through Iowa without a winner, and I think they're fine.
I guess. Are you sure?
Oh, I don't know if maybe get through Watkins Glen. Get through Watkins Glen.
Mathematically, if they want a spot on points, then they need to get through 2 races without a new winner.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how confident do they feel? Because the 45 team, to be fair, they probably feel like they should be winning anyways. So they're probably still going to be chasing the checkered flag.
Reddick could win any of these 4 races too, quite frankly.
But they're definitely in more of a situation where they're not going to risk a bunch of points being lost if they get into a situation like that. There's no way. They have such a big advantage over Bowman. So that will be interesting to follow in these next 4 weeks. But that kind of makes it simple. I mean, winning, you're in. That's literally it. I think Reddick is the only one really points racing. I think Buescher and Bowman, I don't know if they can really think about points too much. Yeah, you got to almost assume the worst. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I love this graphic, by the way. The playoff points, I love this.
Yeah, the graphic we're using is from TobyChristie.com. So Ty Gibbs, who is minus 95, ended up winning the in-season challenge. He beat Ty Dillon. Ty Gibbs finished 21st, and Ty Dillon finished 28th. He was trapped a lap down after an early incident where he kind of rear-ended someone, but like people way ahead were braking. It was on a restart. Unfortunate for Ty. I think Gibbs was just kind of falling back the whole race. I mean, if he didn't have that happen, maybe Ty Dillon could have won this, but...
And Dillon was like 3 laps down with like damage.
Yeah. Do you think the in-season challenge is back next year?
TNT will probably want it back because it's their thing.
They need to cut or move Atlanta later or cut Atlanta from it.
They need to not have it end at the Brickyard. No one cares about this finale when Bubba Wallace just won the Brickyard 400. You know what I mean? Like, no one's talking about Ty Gibbs right now.
I have a prediction that the Brickyard 400 will be on July 4th next year.
Why? Why do you think so? Because that would be cool, but why?
Chicago doesn't want it and isn't having it. And they just revealed the logo for the Brickyard 400 next year, and it's like American themed. It's like the
going USA from flag. Rainbows to American theme. Where have I seen that before?
Yeah. I think there's probably signs there, and the Brickyard 400 was also July 4th weekend in 2020.
That was fun.
That was before and after the pandemic. It just kind of stayed in that slot. So maybe they're going to try it again.
Surely a town called Speedway doesn't mind having the 4th of July event. Surely.
I wouldn't think so.
That would be cool, actually. I wouldn't hate that. I think.
Well, and then they can try it in normal scenario without like a pandemic being like as rapid. So
yeah,
I could see that. I think that's what's going to happen. So it would start the challenge if they did it, I would assume, at the Brickyard 400 rather than end at it.
It'd be like the second race because Chicago was the second race or whatever.
True,
but I think if TNT wasn't so like protective over it, I think NASCAR would have been like, girl, this was kind of just not really like, where's the return on investment? Did it generate hype? Did it generate social media? Well, there was a lot of social media created
about Ty Dillon. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. As a fan, I'm just kind of like, it was such a nothing burger of a thing. Again, there's no stakes. Like,
yeah,
I don't care that Ty Gibbs got $1 million. I just don't.
How would you feel if Ty Gibbs had got a playoff berth from this?
Then it's... Oh, right, because didn't I say that? Oh.
That was your idea. Yeah.
I said, ask me after it ends to see how I would feel. So you mean yesterday's race, Ty Gibbs and Ty Dillon are fighting for a playoff spot? God, that would have been stupid.
And Ty Gibbs finishes 21st.
Maybe not a playoff spot, but like playoff points, maybe, right? Like,
but you'd have to like actually win a race to get in,
to qualify. Because I just feel like this needs stakes or something.
I agree.
But also, this kind of shows that brackets don't really work in racing. If you want it to be serious, if you want it to be fun, then because like the NCAA, the basketball tournament, that's a single elimination tournament. That's not saying it's not serious, but it's single elimination. It's kind of supposed to be like there's supposed to be upsets. It's supposed to be like kind of quick and just not fun, but it's not the most serious thing in the world. So I don't know. It's one of these situations where NASCAR is trying to do something, and I feel like they just I don't know. I would like to see it done better.
Speak of going through things really quick here, we have some notable highlights. Denny Hamlin crashed in qualifying, really hard hit, by the way. He spun off turn 2 in qualifying, then hit the inside wall.
They gave me Indy 500 vibes, like crashing and qualifying. Like,
yes. He was the last. He was the last one to qualify too.
Oh, the trauma!
Started in the back, and he recovered to finish 3rd. I mean, another impressive Brickyard 400 for Denny. Still doesn't have the win there, but he has kissed the bricks now as an owner.
Yeah, he tweeted this morning saying it was bittersweet, and I can imagine.
I bet.
Yeah, he'll be back next year. Apparently, that was announced. He'll be back.
Yeah, he signed at least a 2-year contract extension with Joe Gibbs Racing.
2 years, damn.
He's going to be at least 46 as a Cup driver.
Jesus Christ.
Jeff Gordon was his current age when Jeff Gordon retired, by the way.
That's the thing. I think Denny, I don't know, Denny, if you should be. I didn't even mean to bring that up, but like, whew,
I was worried for him with that hit, but he seems.
Well, I'm just worried with like, girl, you're getting old. Like, let's end up on top. Like, end on top. But he's got to get that Brickyard 400 and maybe the championship. So I get it.
Yeah.
2 more shots.
Catherine Legg finishes 17th, which is both her best finish and Live Fast Racing's best finish. And it's also bested her best finish at Indianapolis, as her best finish in the Indy 500, I believe, is like 22nd.
I saw a replay where she set up a pass on somebody in overtime. Cool. Okay, let her cook. She's learning.
She's getting better.
There was not that much attrition yesterday. There certainly was some, but 17th? Okay, girl.
That's good.
Slay.
She was actually pitting, like she was on the same strategy. Like she waited longer, like with Ryan Blaney. Like she was like running 4th at a point. Like it was a weird strategy, obviously. But like it was pretty cool seeing her name up there.
And you know, Kyle Larson said this before, but he said like his IndyCar experience kind of helped him in the Brickyard 400 with this next-gen car. Surely, I think Kathy might have felt that too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Especially with how aerosensitive these cars are. Like, especially maybe the line that you have to run when you're in dirty air. I think maybe she felt very comfortable. Like, oh, I did this in the Indy car to deal with the dirty air. I'll do it in the stock car.
Yeah.
It's kind of, because it's kind of similar on iRacing, both of them. So, I don't know.
Ryan Blaney won stage 2. He was not in position to win the race, though. That's a crucial playoff point for him. He actually recovered to 7th after the overtimes. I think he was like 18th or 20th or so before them. He gained quite a lot of spots in those.
Yeah, he was the only Penske car yesterday to not have a meteor fall on him. So,
yeah,
pretty good.
Did you see all the bricked up tweets? Blaney made one with Bubba in the plane heading home.
I think that's very inappropriate.
It's very inappropriate.
No. Oh, when we bring up our sexuality, it's a problem. But
yeah.
But low key though, I'm just saying that is kind of stupid, right? Oh, y'all can say bricked up all you want, but as soon as I say I'm gay, it's a fucking problem.
Good point. Front Row Motorsports Pope made a thing that said bricked up. I think 2311 Racing Socials made a post that's used it. It was a lot.
It is kind of weird though, because like we do know what we're talking about, right? Like, why are we a professional racing team? I get it, like if you're making a joke, if you're not like Front Row Motorsport, like if you're NASCAR Chasm or whatever, I get it. But like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be a boomer either. Like, the children, think of the children, but also think of the children. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a boomer, but what do y'all think?
No,
I don't really care. I'm just kind of being a Karen.
I hadn't thought of it the way because you know, if we made that tweet, people are like, stop shoving your sexuality on us. I get what you're saying. I think it's silly and funny. I have no issue with it. But now that you say it, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Part of me's like, I don't know. Something about it's not right. Like, you guys shouldn't be tweeting that. I'm sorry. My children are reading these tweets. I should have tweeted that. Remember when I tweeted that after Byron cussed at Martinsville or something?
It was Darlington and Logano.
Follow your Twitter account.
God. Speak of children, Cookie Monster was not the Grand Marshal, as we were told. He was still Grand Marshal, but he called drivers to their cars and did not give the command to start engines.
Isn't that what they do with the 500? I think that's what they do with the 500, isn't it? Because who gave the command to start engines?
It's some guy from PPG.
Okay, fair enough.
So, flop of the week for misleading posts and advertising here.
Oh, he was with all the drivers' kids, and they're so cute.
But it was really cute. All the content there with Cookie Monster. There's so many TikToks out there. He was hanging with Bubba Wallace. He got a cookie from Ty Dillon. Did you see that in the pre-race? So all the guests, like in driver intros, are all up there. Like the Grand Marshal, person who waves to flag, person who drives a pace car. Grand Marshal is up there as well. And Cookie, like they always have them shake their hands. Cookie Monster is the last one, and Ty Dillon gave Cookie Monster a cookie.
Oh,
it was really cute.
That's so sweet of him.
There was another video that one of Kyle Larson's kids met with Cookie Monster. I thought that was really cute, and Kyle's just kind of sitting there with a big smile on his face.
That's so fun. That's such a cool moment. And we talk about like Bubba's win, getting outside of the NASCAR bubble. Like stuff like that really gets out of the NASCAR bubble too. So whoever had that set up. Big deal. And Bubba Wallace appeared on Sesame Street a few weeks ago. So for him to win the same race that Cookie Monster was at, that's cool.
That's his friend. Cookie Monster's friend just won.
Cookie Monster got to see his friend win. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Yeah.
This was so cute. I want more of this. Like, I'm not saying do it every week, but like do it again. Out of the
bubble. It's like the SpongeBob race. It's like low-key kind of on the level of like the SpongeBob race.
Bring Big Bird to the Southern 500. Come on.
Bubba was hearing him cheer apparently at the end of the race. He was hearing Big Bird cheer. He was hearing the birds. I swear. Apparently, I don't know how you hear birds at the Brickyard, but
so TNT's portion of the season is over. NBC takes over next week at Iowa. What did we think of their return for the first time since 2014?
I think that watching a race on streaming is amazing because
loved it.
Prime was amazing.
I loved Prime and I loved HBO Max.
Yeah.
I don't have cable.
What about HBO? Because you got to like easily access HBO.
Yes.
Yeah. I just think NASCAR on TNT was still, I guess it wasn't bad. It's just like, it was much worse than Prime because of like, the commercials.
Following up Prime was rough. But
it's not really their fault because again, it's network TV.
I will say the camera production was a bit rough at times.
That was stupid. They were not on it.
In the Brickyard 400, there were times that the booth was talking about. I think this one time they were talking about SVG. Like, hey, look, he's running like 15th. That's really good. If he finishes here, it's be his best oval finish. And they're following Ty Gibbs, and they have a graphic up for the in-season challenge. Ty Gibbs is a spot behind SVG. And Dale's like, oh yeah, and shout out to Ty Gibbs. He's leading the challenge right now. But SVG, I just really want to, and they did not switch it. They would not.
Well, my thing with the cameras is I feel like whenever they make a decision, whenever they make a decision to switch the cameras, it's like they're lagging 3 seconds behind. Yeah. It takes them like 3 seconds to finally switch when they need to switch. Yeah. That's something I've noticed. And it's just, so there's just something with their production team and then the commercial TV thing. It just wasn't as good as Prime, but it's actually a race broadcast at least, unlike what Fox is putting out.
The burn bar that Prime had.
Yeah.
Imagine that yesterday, and they were talking about how much gas Bubba had versus Larson. Like, that would have ate.
Like,
I think.
Can't Steve Letarte be like, hey, I loved using this on the Prime broadcast. What can you guys do for me so I can have this to explain the fuel mileage?
You can call it the TNT. When the TNT is going to explode because your TNT.
The TNT, the
dynamite meter.
The dynamite meter. The dynamite meter. That sounds like a video game thing.
And it explodes when they run out of gas. I don't know. Just give it to me. I loved it with Prime.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just, it's low key, kind of like the tournament. It was kind of a nothing burger. Like the booth was great. Alan Alexander had a great call yesterday, but I kind of just don't care about them. Yeah. Like if they weren't on the TV production next year for more Prime races or more NBC races, I wouldn't really care. I wouldn't miss them. So
can Prime production just do the TNT part? Please.
Because what confuses me about that is I thought NASCAR was doing a lot of the production, but I guess not.
I think NASCAR does the CW.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I don't know.
But
I don't care.
Most of the Prime production people work with NBC, so we're going to get a lot of that back.
And my favorite Australian man is going to grace our ears.
Gosh, I'm so excited.
Iowa Speedway. Oh, I can't wait.
TLDL, too long didn't listen.
I was like, what does that mean?
TNT was better than Fox, obviously, but much, much worse than Prime.
Yeah, I have no interest in watching racing on Fox. I think, and we'll get into IndyCar. I think that's why I'm not watching IndyCar anymore, because I don't want to watch it on Fox. It's not worth my time.
We'll get into that, or will we? One more thing on NASCAR. The Xfinity Series, we talked about the Austin Hill thing. But Connor Zilisch has now won 3 races in a row in the Xfinity Series, and it was GR Motorsports' 100th victory in this series.
And to do it with like the future of the sports is really cool.
Very cool.
And I mentioned it last week, Junior Motorsports. They have won 12 of the 21 races in the Xfinity Series this season.
That's crazy.
They are on an absolute roll. And Connor Zilisch, kind of like with Bubba winning the Brickyard, Connor Zilisch winning the Brickyard, I think has a lot of layers to it. I mean, there's so much racing. He said
this weekend that he wants to do the Indy 500 someday.
Girl, a Red Bull IndyCar,
dude. Yeah.
Oh, it's happening.
And Trackhouse has said they want to do it too.
Oh, it's so happening. And it's happening soon. I don't think people realize how soon that's going to happen, by the way. Yeah. I think him tweeting that that getting put out into the air, all the important people are going to see that, and a deal is going to get put together quicker than I think we think it will. Yep. I'm not saying next year, but I'm saying like soon.
Before the end of the decade, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's crazy to think about, but like, yeah, maybe.
And they might even at least like get him like a test, just like a Red Bull, like wrap a IndyCar in Red Bull and have him drive it for a commercial or something.
Our Patreon member Dirts asked us, can Connor Zilisch win next year and what is likely to be his rookie cup season? And could he win the Watkins Glen Cup race in a few weeks?
Absolutely not. SVG will cook him alive at Watkins Glen, even if Connor Zilisch could get up there. He has a lot to learn in the Cup car. The Cup car, I think, is unlike anything he's ever driven. We saw Ty Gibbs have this Ty Gibbs, who very similar to Zilisch, was a phenom in the Xfinity Series. Gibbs has struggled. I will say it's impressive that Zilisch has basically taken over the Xfinity Series this summer. Like it's only taken him like
he has no worse finish than 5th, I believe, since May.
Since his injury, huh?
Yeah,
interesting. I I don't want to say that he's not going to win next year because, like, if anyone can win in their rookie year, it's Connor Zilisch.
It's going to be him. Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, he'll definitely win because
if he does, it'll be a road course going head to head with SVG.
But that's the thing, though. SVG, I feel like, has this. The guys that have experience and talent can't even beat SVG right now. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I wouldn't say a solid no, but I wouldn't say it's likely because he's going to be behind SVG on learning the car, you know.
But SVG being his teammate, though, will probably help him in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many secrets SVG keeps, but, you know.
Side note, do you hope he keeps the 99 that Suarez has, or do you hope they give him the 87 that he runs on part-time basis?
Why did they give him the 87? Is that like a Red Bull number, or was it
I don't
just
know.
like...
But I like it. I like the 87 more than 99. Because then their numbers can be 88, 87, and 1.
I wanted SVG in the 97 because I thought that number fit him.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad when they didn't give that to him. And then Connor staying in the 88 would kind of be cool, like building that brand.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really care. I think they got to keep the 99, right? Because it's the 1 and the 99.
That was their original number.
Yeah. So I don't really care. I think that'd be fine. I want the low key, though. I really liked when they had the 91 for the part-time starts. That felt like
that was
because then they only had 2 types of digits in all of their car numbers, the 1 and the 9.
True.
Like SVG in the 88 still feels so weird to me, but
yeah,
there's history there with his supercars. So
yeah. So we're not done just yet, but a little note. Zach and I are going to be on the Shrimp Hours podcast this week. We're going to talk more about NASCAR there. That is not like this podcast.
If you remember our friend podcast. Davin, also known as Drive Through Designs, he was on our paint scheme like episodes, like the Darlington throwbacks. It's his podcast that he does with his shrimps, his friends. And we're gonna be hanging out on their episode this week. So follow them on. I think they have a YouTube. They're definitely on Spotify. Yeah. That's where I listen to them. They're probably on Apple. I think they have a Twitter, so we'll retweet it when it's out. But just if you don't want to miss it, just keep a lookout for that. I'm very excited.
That's gonna be fun.
We're gonna tell it's a story I think we already told on here, but we're gonna tell some stories. So
yeah, so look forward to that. It's gonna be so fun. I'm excited for this.
You know what's not fun? Open wheel racing. Give me my fenders. I'm over it. I hate open wheel racing.
So, IndyCar at Laguna Seca.
To be fair, IndyCar and F1 were at some very, 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 very cool racetracks this week. Laguna Seca and Spa.
Hold on. Clap if you care. All right, let's move on. Formula One was at Spa.
Wait, but who won the IndyCar race? I don't know. Oh. I have no idea who won the IndyCar race.
Alex Palou won his 8th race of the year. Here, let me give you a synopsis of the IndyCar race. Alex Palou won. IndyCar did that thing where they wait for a yellow because someone was stuck in the sand again.
Was it Jacob Abel stuck in the sand?
I think he did get stuck in the sand, but it was actually Renus VK. And then Kyle Kirkwood moved VK. I think it might have been for that incident. But same script. Fox apparently was bad. I'm not going to go on a rant about it.
I said this last week. IndyCar cannot have a race at the same time as the Brickyard 400. You are shooting yourself in the foot. So.
Yep. By all the people that I know from Twitter or listen to this podcast and they talk with us, all of them were at the Brickyard 400 because they all live in Indianapolis, and they're all the IndyCar people that I follow.
All of the IndyCar fans that live in Indy, guess where they are at yesterday? Yeah. Are you I'm just saying, don't be an idiot and schedule the race at the same time as the Brickyard.
I want to do some shout outs because these are just people that I can think of off the top of my head that were there. Indy Nathan, who's on Blue Sky, he's an IndyCar guy. Brickyard 400. One of our listeners, Olivia, big IndyCar fan. They were at the Brickyard 400.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, Amy, Brickyard 400.
Brickyard 400.
Near Indianapolis.
It's not even just a sport thing where it's you want to respect your own kind of this Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They're having a big race there today. Let's not race at the same time as them. This is all of our fans that normally watch our race are probably at this one track today.
Yeah. Silly. Very goofy.
I don't think you could be more stupid.
Yeah.
So unless you're the head of Fox production in motorsports, but
a race I actually did watch, Zach, was the Formula One race in Spa. I actually watched this from start to finish.
How was it? Because I kind of hate that I missed it.
This race got delayed by an hour because of some rain at Spa. That sounds familiar, right? It was raining really hard. They couldn't.
The rain in the mountains are serious, dude. I think they must be serious. I don't know.
This race wasn't like spectacular or anything. It was an F1 race, but near the start, Oscar Piastri got around Lando Norris. Norris had the pole. Piastri just flew right around him. At the end of the race, though, Norris was on hards and Oscar was on mediums, but Oscar was on them for a longer period of time, so Lando was catching.
Not only are the mediums wearing faster, but they're also just older in general. So it was set up.
The thing is, Lando kept making mistakes. He would go really wide, or like little mistakes, and they were saying like in the booth, like,
"Girl,
if he would like have a flawless last few laps here, he can get to Oscar." But then he made another mistake, and then I don't know the names of the F1 people, but someone in the broadcast was like, "Well, I don't think he's going to get there now because he made another mistake, Crofty." And then they went back to Crofty. But Lando Norris is just overdriving.
He's kind of on fraud watch.
Low key.
Like, think of McLaren for a minute. Like, if there's like a prospect that they have lined up soon.
Well, Zach, in the F1 booth, they were saying like Oscar should probably pit, like get sauce and then chase back Lando down and then run away with it from there. But Lando kept messing up. That Oscar's lead just was not changing. It was really interesting, just a tire wear part of it. But
that sucks too, because that's the thing about racing that frustrates me when I do it on iRacing. It's like you're pushing so hard to gain tenths, but if you mess up, you lose like a second. Like, it's so frustrating and so hard. And it's why these guys are good. It's why these F1
Lewis Hamilton started toward the back. I don't know what happened to him in qualifying, but he ended up coming back to finish sixth, I believe. And
seventh. I just put up the results. I was curious.
Yeah. And he got driver of the day. So good for Lewis.
I'm glad Daddy got driver of the day. I'm glad. Lewis. Yeah. Lewis. Yeah. Sorry.
Anything else to talk about before we get into
Max
fantasy?
Verstappen finished fourth, and what was that contract said? If he's fourth or lower in the standings?
Yeah. And I believe it might have been this race that if he was fourth or lower in points, that he could leave Red Bull.
No, I think it was a later date. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like it was a later date. Singapore. I feel like it was Singapore. Maybe.
I don't know. But I'm assuming that's not happening. Him going to Mercedes, as funny as it would be, but I believe next year, the year after, is when his actual contract ends. Like, I guess this is like the deadline for an exit clause that the contract with Red Bull has. But
yeah, we'll see.
Fantasy time for IndyCar. The next race is Portland on August 10th. There's 3 races to go there. You had Alex Palou, who won the race. I had Kyle Kirkwood, who finished 16th and was, like I said earlier, controversially moved VK or whatever. I don't know exactly what happened. I didn't watch. But there was some beef between VK and Kirkwood on Twitter. Thought that was interesting. Points are now 15-14. I have a 1-point lead over you, so you still get to pick first.
Nice.
Actually, no. We're not picking yet.
I know, but I get to pick Alex Palou for Portland. I'm
in my head, it was like, okay, you pick Palou, I'll pick whoever. Move on.
I get to pick Alex Palou for Portland. I'm very excited about that. So that's good. Yeah. I'm very excited. Yeah, there we go.
My bad. I was just ready to pick.
NASCAR, what? I had Denny Hamlin, you had Christopher Bell. Nice top 10 finish, got 8th.
See, I picked 2 guys wrecking people this weekend. I had Kirkwood and Bell.
How did Bell? I can't believe Bell finished 8th. That's crazy. Karma's coming his way. That's crazy.
I had to double check that. I'm like, he finished 8th? Are you sure?
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, I thought something happened with Bell. How did he finish 8th? Oh, yeah, he murdered somebody. He got away with it.
And you had Hamlin, who finished 3rd. 14 races to go.
Hamlin's mad consistent, man. Oh, so good.
We are going to Iowa. 21-19. I have the points lead, so you get to pick first.
I think, you know who's been running really good lately?
Who's that?
Kyle Larson. I think he's breaking
Kyle Larson.
the winless streak of like a few months. I think he's back. He's back this week. He was really fast there last year, but they made mistakes. I think Cliff Daniels and that 5 team, they have finally got their footing again. I think they're ready to win a race. So, yeah. Well, low key, I should probably go to Richmond. He might win at Richmond in a few weeks. I might need to go.
Yeah. Well, you said Denny Hamlin's been pretty consistent. So I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin.
Okay.
For Iowa.
And you know what about Denny that was really interesting? When he wrecked in qualifying this week, I was really concerned because I think part of his consistency has been like the qualifying metric, and that's helping him get really good qualifying positions, and it helps him stay out front. But for them to recover yesterday and get a top 3 finish is such a huge deal, and I think it's going to let them continue the momentum.
Definitely. Ryan Blaney is the defending winner of Iowa, but Penske's kind of been off, I feel like. They didn't really have it at Dover.
Yeah, they're almost like
whenever I pick Blaney, I feel like he doesn't do good. That's why I'm like, we're
getting ready for the playoffs, Alex.
True.
They got all of their cars locked into the playoffs, and they're getting ready
experimenting.
I mean, we haven't heard much from Blaney since Nashville, right? Low key.
Yeah.
They are getting ready for the playoffs.
They're cooking behind the scenes.
They do this. We're going to be shocked. We're going to be shocked in like 3 months when Joey Logano goes out and wins
6 of the last 10 races.
Whatever. Yeah. Or Blaney wins Martinsville again with a 10-second lead, and we're shocked. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how did this happen? How did we not see this coming? This happened in the last 3 years. I
can't wait for these thumbnails. I'm gonna go ahead and make the thumbnails. Like,
just go ahead.
Watching Blaney. Yeah. So predictable.
NBC's back this weekend. I'm
very
looking forward
excited
to that.
Iffy. And just in general, like their broadcast, like they know what they're doing. It's still same booth, right?
Yeah.
Still like same pit reporters, like Marty Snyder, Kim Kuhn.
Yep.
Basically what we've already had, I guess, like for last few weeks. So
Kim Kuhn's been like with CW, so she like, they've been all there, just in different networks.
Has Kim Kuhn been with TNT?
Nope.
No. Oh.
Daniel Trotta.
Because Kim Kuhn was like interviewing Austin Hill. I guess Kim Kuhn is always in the big moments, if you really think about it.
She really is.
Speaking of Marty Snyder, Jesus Christ, he was not getting what Bubba was putting down yesterday. No. When Bubba said, "How many days since my last win?" and he said, I think about 100. And and Bubba had to turn around. He's like, "No, this dumbass, 0 dumbass, 0. I won today." Marty.
Oh, poor Marty.
That's the first time Marty Snyder has ever flopped. But again, Alex, remember that TikTok I shared with you? To flop, you must flop from greatness.
That's true.
You must flop from greatness.
I think you sent that to me and said, "This is Joseph" or something.
Yeah.
I think you did.
We can't say Fox has flop. Well, no, Fox did used to be good. They are flop. They just keep flopping down further and further. They're down in the depths. They're down. They're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. They keep going lower and lower.
Fox was good. Fox was good 15 years ago, and they have not recovered.
Motorsports on Fox we're going to the core. The Pauline song. We're going the core. I'm an idiot.
On that note, again, make sure you check out Shrimp Hours this week, as Zach and I will be on there. That's going to be a very silly time. Thank you to our Patreon members for both submitting questions throughout the episode and for their support. You can join at patreon.com/gayracingpod. It's just $2 a month just to submit questions, and $5 a month for early access for any bonus videos.
I need y'all to comment if you want me to do an office tour in my racing collection, because I would feel motivated to do it if y'all comment. So comment if you want to see that. Down below, right? Comment. Me. Message. Don't message me. At me.
Zach is going to read your message.
I'm not going to read it. At me. Comment. Like. I'll do it.
Encourage Zach to do that. That'd be a $5 tier on Patreon, and maybe a YouTube video, Zach, if it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and liking on YouTube. Follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod on Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And follow us on Blue Sky and Twitter at DreamyZackRacing and at Newgaden.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week to talk about NASCAR at Iowa Speedway. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.